Hey guys, welcome to episode 12 of the End Zone Boys. Today we're here with a special guest. We're here with Jacob. You want to
What's
introduce
up? What's
yourself?
up? Yeah, I'm Jacob. I went to school with Ben and Donnie a few years ago. I transferred out, but still kept in contact, still friends. I used to be on a sports podcast myself. It was called Emerald City Sports, but things just kind of got complicated. We weren't really able to keep making episodes, but I'm still trying to stay in it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Still keep talking about sports.
Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah.
Ben, you want to kick us
Well,
off?
today, as the NFL season is just under 2 weeks away, we'll be going through all of our NFL predictions, preview, really anything to do with, the 2025 NFL season. So with that, let's kick it off in the first division, the AFC East. So that is going to be the Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Jets. Donnie, do you want to any first thoughts about how this division is going to go this year?
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, the Bills are going to run away with it. Um, and I don't. I think in my opinion, I think the Patriots could be a pretty good team this year. I'm not too high on the Dolphins, and for me, I think the Jets are going to finish last. It's just in my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Yeah. So I think this division does have a clear winner, which is the Bills.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing really that's going to get in the way of that team within that division. But honestly, I could see each of these teams make the playoffs. But I mean, for my prediction, I don't think the Dolphins or the Patriots are going to be that great. But I do
Really.
think the Jets are sneaky, and I really like Justin Fields at quarterback, so I could really see them as a playoff team or a playoff contender.
Yeah, I think obviously I think all three of us have the Bills winning the division, but with that being said, I think second, third, and fourth is really up for grabs. Each of these teams I could see winning 10 games, and each of them I could see winning three or four and being one of the worst teams in football. It's really about Drake Mays if he progresses as a player, can Tua stay healthy, and what is Justin Fields going to look like. So it's kind of answering those questions and then ranking them. But two of us had the Patriots in second, me and Donnie.
Yeah.
Jacob had them in third, or had them in third, and the Jets in second. I had the Jets in second, and then Donnie had them in fourth, with all of us kind of pretty low on the Dolphins.
Well, okay, I'm curious on why you guys have the Jets over the Dolphins, because I'm not convinced with the Jets this season at all.
Well, the reason I have the Jets so high, I think they're a playoff team. Um, I think their O line has improved quite a bit from the past few years, and they have young players who are developing, but they've been getting better. As you can see, like Garrett Wilson.
For
I really
sure.
like Garrett Wilson. I think this might be a breakout year for him. They have a really solid defense, great secondary. Um, but the big factor that, in my opinion, is why they're going to be a playoff team is because they have Justin Fields at quarterback. And I
Wow.
really like him. I think that he's solid. During his time at Pittsburgh, he was great. And,
I don't know if he was
well,
great.
I
he
feel like
was
people
pretty
just,
good.
yeah, I feel
He
like people
wasn't
don't give
terrible.
him enough credit for what he did on the Steelers last year. And kind of also what went into my decision making. I don't think people give their defense enough credit. Like that's clearly an above average unit in the league,
Well,
and
yeah,
you
I'm
could
yeah,
argue
for
top
sure.
10. Even if the offense is iffy at times, I still think they're going to be like in that 7 and 10, 8 and 9 range. I don't have them making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Definitely not, but I can see why some people would.
Well, the reason I have the Dolphins over the Jets this time is because I just think the Dolphins, their offense, as like the past 3 years, their offense can just carry their defense again. But obviously, I don't have the Dolphins as a playoff team, but that's just my take.
Yeah.
Well, something I want to talk about for the Jets is, again, Justin Fields. I feel like for the Dolphins, though, the Dolphins, their quarterback play with Tua and him constantly getting hurt and injured is not really going to be reliable for them throughout the season,
That is true.
which is why I
Yeah.
have them low. I feel like they're a really strong team in the beginning of the season when they're really healthy,
Yeah.
but the Dolphins are a very injury prone team, so that kind of brings them down throughout their overall rankings.
Yeah.
And with uh, Justin Fields at quarterback for the Jets, I think he can have, a similar season to, in my opinion, Jalen Hurts last year, where he doesn't throw for an insane amount of yards, but he gets it done on the ground. He gets touchdowns. And if Brees Hall does stay healthy, which most likely he won't,
Yeah,
their run game is going to be pretty solid, especially with Braylon Allen backing up.
that is true. All right.
Yeah, and I think just to finish that off, yeah, I do think the Jets are going to be a good team. I do think the Patriots are going to be a lot improved. But just touching on the Patriots for one sec, I don't have complete belief that their offense is kind of what it's going to be. I don't really know if Stephon Diggs is a number one wide receiver anymore. I don't know if they have, that elite weapon outside of him. I don't think Hunter Henry's that.
Yeah,
I think Trayvon Henderson can be that. I just don't know if you can trust him in his rookie year to do as much as they're asking him to do.
that is true.
What about the wide receiver from Wazoo,
Kyle Williams.
Kyle Williams? I think he
I
might be
mean,
solid.
he could be great, or he could just be another Jalen Polk, who was
That's
great
true.
at UW. Obviously, we loved him, but
Yeah, yeah. Jalen Polk's now getting lost in the depth chart.
Me and Ben, Donnie, me and Ben both met Jalen Polk.
Did you
great
actually?
guy.
We got to
Wow.
interview him.
We did.
Wow.
I know.
You-
I wish he turned into like another Brian Thomas, because then that would be more bragging rights.
That's
Well,
true.
I mean,
Well,
he
his
saw his
career's-
time.
He
That's
still
true.
has time.
He still has time. Don't doubt him
Yep.
yet.
Yep. Moving on to our second division. This is kind of another one I think we all had a consensus winner. The AFC North with the Ravens, the Bengals, the Steelers, and the Browns. I think you have that clear top team with the Ravens, the clear bottom team of the Browns, and then it's kind of in that 2 and 3 slot where we kind of mixed around. I believe me and Jacob had the Bengals in second, and then Donnie, the Steelers fan, had the Steelers in second. So, what are your thoughts here?
I mean, okay, well, the Bengals at 2, I think is a bit. I'm okay. I want to hear what do you think the record for the Bengals will be before I ask why you put them in the 2 spot.
I said 10-7.
I had them 10 and 7 as
Okay, so I'm assuming you guys said the Steelers are 9 and 8 then.
Yeah.
Okay. um, okay. The reason why I'm not too high in the Bengals. I think they'll probably go 9 and 8, maybe 7 and 10, 8 or 8 and 9, something like that. The reason why is because I'm just not big on their defense right now. I mean, obviously no one is. Their defense is looking really bad, and I just don't think because the Steelers have an opposite situation where their defense is too good, but their offense is like lacking a little bit. And I think that the Steelers' defense can definitely carry a lot more weight than the Bengals' offense.
Yeah, and I think it kind of comes down to like, can Joe Burrow stay healthy? Because if he's not on the field, even though Jake Browning's a very good backup quarterback, like they're not going to make the playoffs. And you've seen him have more injury issues than I think people give him credit for. Obviously,
Yeah.
rookie year he tore his ACL. He had that wrist injury that
Mhm.
held him out the second half of not last year but the year before.
2020, yeah.
Yeah. But the reason I put him in second is I just think they have a much, much higher ceiling than the Steelers. Like they went 9 and 8, and it felt like a failure of a season. I just don't think they're going to be a lot worse than that.
Wait, but the Steelers have like a completely revamped offense, and I'm just pretty high on that offense right now.
I'm not. I personally am not too big. I mean, I think I like DK Metcalf, obviously, as a Seahawks fan.
Sure.
I mean, I've been a fan of DK Metcalf throughout his career. But I do think in Seattle, he gets a little overrated. And
Really?
people act like he's Calvin Johnson. He's not Calvin Johnson. He's DK Metcalf. And DK Metcalf, definitely an above average receiver, definitely a star receiver. But I don't think, and especially this late in his career, I don't think he has what it takes to be a superstar, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
DK could be the next Calvin Johnson on the Steelers. Maybe the Seahawks just weren't the fit.
I mean, I feel like people also don't give him credit. He's like, what, 28 now? Like, he's not like as young as you think. Like, yes, he still has a couple years, like really good elite years left, but like he just signed like what, a 5-year, $150 million contract. Like those back half of that contract could be really, really bad.
Okay, well, it doesn't make
Yeah.
any difference because the Commanders are going to sign Terry McLaurin to $30 million a year, and he's 29.
But he's 30, but
Yeah.
but he's just an overall better player, and I trust that as he ages, he'll be better. But we'll get to that when it comes.
All right.
I also think, touching on the Browns, I was very, very tempted to switch the Browns and the Steelers. I am actually very high on the Browns this season, even though I know they're not making the playoffs. But I really like Shedeur Sanders. I really like Joe Flacco, what they've been able to do in their careers in the postseason or in the preseason. So I don't think they're going to be as bad as people really think.
No, well, I
Yeah.
agree too, but I just don't think he's not gonna be starting the time the Browns are gonna be good. Because we obviously know earlier this morning or yesterday, Joe Flacco is gonna be QB1 week one. And I think it's gonna get to a point where Shador will start, but the Browns will probably be like 2-9 at that point.
Well, I had Bengals at 10-7, Steelers 9-8, and Browns 8-9. So I
There you go.
think those three teams all could, flip flop.
All right?
But the reason I have the Bengals over the Steelers is also quarterback play. I mean, I'm not big on Aaron Rodgers,
For sure, he's old.
and but I mean he's not terrible,
It's not
but
terrible.
he's
He
not what he
serves
used to
it.
be. And like Ben was saying, if Joe Burrow stays healthy, he really elevates that offense. And even with Jake Brown as a backup quarterback, he could still win them games. But I just think they have more like willpower to win games.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Just
fair. That's
based off
fair.
of the star level offense that they have.
That's fair.
Yeah. Now let's move into, honestly, in my opinion, probably the most interesting division in the
Yeah.
NFL this year. You have the AFC South. All of us, again, picked the same division winner in the Texans, but we all had different second through fourth. So Jaguars, Titans, and Colts. Let's start with the Jaguars, though. Donnie, you were the most high on them at second place. Why do you think that they are the second best team in the division?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember putting them second. Um, I need to rethink. Okay, but okay. So I remember Titans. I'm not too high on. I don't know why. I just feel like they barely improved. I feel like they didn't really do too much this offseason. I mean, I'm sure they have Cam Ward, but I feel like they just don't have a lot of changes in their roster. It kind of looks the same to me last year with like Cam Ward and Tyler Lockett. I don't know I think the Jaguars the reason why was because of Travis Hunter. Because he's going to be a good wide receiver two option for Trevor Lawrence. I saw it week one preseason with against the Steelers, and then I also think that he's also going to be a good cornerback for them too. The fact that he can play two ways, I think, is just a huge swinging point for the Jaguars.
I mean, that's valid, but I have the Titans actually better than what you were saying because just because of quarterback play. They have Cam Ward now, and he really elevates that offense and extends plays longer than what's given to them. I think Will Levis honestly deserves better, and I think he deserves a second chance in the league, but Cam Ward is way above that level, and I think
Yeah,
Cam Ward can get the Titans to some wins. Although these three bottom teams in the division could go any
yeah,
way
they can go
just because
interchangeably.
they're all not very great.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the Texans going like what 11-6, 10-7. The rest could just flip flop between 5-12, 4-15 or 4-13, something like that. I could just see them just mixing up.
With
Yeah.
my rankings, I had Texans 9-8, Titans 6-11, Jaguars 5-12, Colts 4-13.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
valid.
bottom three
Yeah.
teams were not very great,
Yeah,
and I can't see any of these teams other than the division winner making the playoffs.
yeah. This
Like
is just
none of these teams are making wild
Yep.
card.
yeah, this is just
And
like the new NFC South, basically.
Mhm. And for the reason that I put the Jaguars last, I'm like very down on them. I just like it's like year five of Trevor Lawrence's career, and we're still like maybe this is the year. Like I just think we gotta accept that like he's a fine quarterback. Like he's nothing. He's not gonna lead a team to the Super Bowl. He's like a fine, manageable quarterback. I just think honestly, maybe this is a crazy take. I just think Daniel Jones as the Colts starter has a higher ceiling this year than Trevor Lawrence does as a Jaguar.
He does
Right?
more.
I mean, sure. I mean,
I
that's
just
not,
like
it's not a terrible take.
I feel like the Colts can fix it. I trust Daniel Jones. I saw him do it against the Commanders multiple times in his career. I just think like he has something where he could be like the next Sam Darnold, one of like Baker Mayfield, one of those type of guys.
Or Gino.
Mhm.
But I had the Colts. Did they name Daniel Jones starting
Yeah,
quarterback?
this
Yeah,
morning.
this is
Yeah.
this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, I still have them last. It's just their team is just
Well, I
so
mean, yeah, it's Daniel
garbage.
Jones too.
Yep.
It is Daniel Jones. But I think
Get
just
excited.
their entire like all their offensive weapons are just like awful. I
Yeah.
mean, I think Jonathan Taylor's actually pretty good, and I think he's an underrated running back. But they really just don't have any receivers. They added Tyler Warren to the unit, which that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's his rookie year, and I just don't see them. I don't see them winning more than 7 games,
I mean,
and I
yeah.
have them at 4-13.
When I look at the Colts, I just see like the Raiders this year too. They just have an elite running back. They have no wide receiver weapons, and then they have a tight end that's going to probably get a lot of receptions and touches.
I can't wait to get to the Raiders
I
because
I same. That is like
Really?
one of my teams.
Okay.
Even
Are you-
though we'll see. Let's go to
Let's
them
move
now.
on.
Though. AFC
All right.
West.
So now we have the
perfect,
Raiders.
perfect.
This is actually
Perfect
very
timing.
interesting, because in our rankings we all had the exact same ranking.
Yeah. Okay.
With that being said, though, I would like to start with the Raiders because they are one of the teams I think can like be really really good this year. But Jacob, do you want to say more on that?
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I had all these teams in the division with winning records, and
Really?
yeah, all with winning records. I think the Raiders, just based off having Geno Smith at quarterback and having a reliable, good coach in Pete Carroll, I think it really can lead them to a pretty good season. And the mindset there is different. It's not like Raiders fans like getting just pissed off based on their team not having any energy. This team's fired up, and we saw preseason week 1 that literally coming right out the gate. Geno Smith flipping off a fan,
Yeah.
Max Crosby getting hype. Like, bro, I think this team's moving different. And sure, they might be last in the division for me, but I had them going 9-8, which is like almost playoffs.
Really good, yeah.
So I think all these teams. Honestly, there might be a possibility where all these teams make the playoffs, but I
Wow.
only had Chiefs and Broncos making playoffs.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had Chargers and Raiders tied for the 7th seed, and the Chargers had the tie break. So yeah, I'm super high on the Raiders this season. I think Ashton Genty is going to be electric. I think Jacoby Myers is very underrated as a wide receiver in this league. Brock Bowers, obviously. Geno Smith is a borderline top 12 quarterback for me this year. And I think the defense doesn't get enough credit. I think Jeremy Chin was a great add. Max Crosby is a top 5 edge rusher. You have a great linebacker room now with Jermaine Pratt and a few other pieces. So I think this team is one of the more underrated teams in the league for sure.
Really? Okay. So even though we all have the same rankings, I actually have the Raiders going probably 6-11 or 5-12. The biggest reason is because I've never been really big on Geno. I mean, obviously, Jacob, you're a Seahawks fan, so you can probably say a lot more about Geno. But I don't know, I'm just not really convinced that he's gonna be a top like 12 quarterback in the league. And to me, how I see the defense, it's just like the Browns. You just have a guy who's just chasing the bag on the defense. To me, as I said earlier, the offense to me just looks like the Colts. You just have a running back, a tight end, and then like a mid quarterback at best. So I'm just not too big on the Raiders. Although I do think both the Broncos and the Chargers will take wild card spots.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I don't know if you can compare Daniel Jones to Geno
That's
Smith.
true.
I
That's
don't
true.
think
rude.
That's a rude comparison, but it's
Moving to the top of the division, I'm kind of surprised someone didn't go not the Chiefs' way, but at the same time, like it just feels so hard to pick against or like root against the Chiefs
yeah.
to win that division. But were any of you close on the records? Because I was like 2 or 3 games off still.
Wait, what was
Mm,
the record of the Chiefs last year? Wasn't
I
it like
think they, I mean,
15
well, they
2?
15
they
and
didn't
2.
play their starters the last week, but I
Yeah.
think they still went 14-3.
No, 15 because didn't they lose to the
15,
Bills?
15-2, yeah, because
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
were crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I
I
don't think
mean,
they're gonna be that good, but they're
yeah.
gonna be pretty good.
I mean,
Win the
my
division.
prediction was they're gonna go 12-5, and the Broncos are gonna go 11-6. That was just my prediction. That's how close it was gonna be for me.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Ben? For your
I think I had 14-3, and then Broncos 11-6, and then Chargers Raiders 8-9. But yeah, I had all 4 above 500.
as a
Yeah.
valid. I had Chiefs 11-6 and Broncos 10-7.
Oh. Moving over to the NFC now. We got the NFC East, another division that kind of is up for, or the first division in this. It's kind of more up for grabs. Commanders, Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants. Um, me and Jacob both had the Commanders winning. Donnie, had to pick the Eagles. But Donnie, you want to start off talking about the Eagles versus Commanders matchup? Who do you think has the edge?
I mean, it's the Eagles. The Eagles are the proud fathers of the Washington Commanders. I mean, we saw it last year. It was like BTA every single matchup except that one time Kenny Pickett plays. And I mean the Eagles. I mean, yeah, sure their defense lost what like 8 starters or something, but it's still the Eagles we're talking about. They were so dominant in the Super Bowl, and I mean the Commanders. I definitely think they will be good this season again. I just think that last year they got a little bit lucky, in my opinion. They just got a little bit lucky, especially with their schedule. Their schedule was kind of easy last year. I mean, they'll probably end up in the same like position, same record, but I just think it's gonna. I just don't think they can edge out the Eagles this year.
Yeah. I mean, as the Commanders fan here, of course, like I'm going to be somewhat biased and take the Commanders, but you got to look at a few things. Like first off, a division winner hasn't repeated for like 20 years. The Commanders had won the division in 2010, 2015, 2020. And now it's 2025. It
Okay,
just kind
well,
of, plays out that we should win the division.
you
And then
can't
I
say
just
The
think like this,
patterns.
I don't think this team got worse in any position in my opinion. Maybe safety. But we still got Will Martin. No, not Will
you
Harris
can't.
to bring to like take Jeremy Chin's role. But yeah, I just think Jaden Daniels is far and away the best quarterback in the division. And I think week 18 the Eagles play the Commanders, and I think that's gonna be the winner wins the division and the loser gets the 5 seed or the top wild card spot.
Yeah, I mean, but like Ben, you can't say the Commanders won the division in 2020 when you go 7 and
Taylor
9.
Heineke,
You went 7 and 9 that season.
dude, that
Okay, well
team was so much fun.
that just means all the other teams were terrible.
That
Well,
was the
because
Ben.
okay,
That
because
was Ben
Dak
DiNucci.
was injured that whole season because he broke like his ankle. The Giants were being the Giants, and the Eagles had no one.
Was Jalen Hurts the quarterback?
I
No,
don't
they started
know.
some.
I
They
think it
started
was
at
like
some
Minshew. I think it was
bomb. Yeah,
Minshew.
Wasn't that Carson Wentz?
that might have been Carson
Yeah, it
Wentz
might
like
have been
offense.
Carson. Yeah, so you can't even like talk about
Yeah,
team
but
winning
we
the division.
sucked too. To be fair, I mean, we had
I
Taylor.
don't know. Carson Wentz was pretty good. Prime Carson Wentz was
People don't give him credit. He was an
Well,
elite
yeah.
MVP quarterback.
Well, he's like the
he was
Derrick.
supposed to be what Patrick Mahomes is
Mhm.
now.
Well,
Like,
he's literally the Derrick Rose of the NFL.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
That
he's
might
Derrick
be
pretty
Rose
terrible.
might be a little stretch. He
Yeah.
could be like
Or the John Wall of the NFL.
No, let's not compare him to legends like that. But like,
no, he's
maybe like the Robert Covington or something. I don't know.
no. Okay,
No.
now that's disrespectful. Nah, here
Oh,
I would say he's for NBA. I'm trying to think.
I don't really
NBA.
know.
He
Like the
might be
Brandon
more
Roy,
of like
is that
Or like
disrespectful?
Victor Oladipo.
nah.
Maybe I don't like
Brandon Roy.
maybe-
Brandon
yeah.
Roy's about right.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Brandon Roy's about right.
Yeah, I
But-
also think people don't give the Cowboys enough credit, even though like I'm supposed to hate the Cowboys. Like I think Dak is way
Well, yeah,
overrated
for
and
sure.
actually like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I think Jackson Darts look really good, and I'm, not really scared of the team, but I think they're gonna be not horrific, quarterback wise, and so I think it really just comes down to like who can stay healthy in that division.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, like with the Cowboys, I'm not too big on them just because I think their running game is kind of trash this year.
Yeah.
Miles
And
Sanders.
their defense isn't terrible, but losing someone like DeMarcus Lawrence, like they lost like some good pieces, and
Wait, and they're gonna lose Micah Parsons. I need like soon, probably.
I mean, maybe.
let's just
Probably.
assume he's on the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still don't think they're better than obviously Commanders and Eagles.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I really like Commanders this year just because Jaden Daniels is going to be even better. I think he's going to be even better than last year. And I think their entire team is just like elevated.
Because
Like-
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Keep
They're just
on.
gonna-
Yep, keep it coming.
Well, yeah,
They're
but
just
don't
not.
get- yeah.
They're just not going to be worse than last year, and
Exactly,
they had an
that's-
amazing year.
I
Exactly.
mean, wait. Well, don't get me wrong, too. I think the Cowboys. Well, my prediction was they were gonna go 9-8. They were gonna lose out the 7th seed.
George
but-
Pickens.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm so big is because I mean we obviously know Jax. He's the Joel Embiid of the NFL. He only performs in the regular season. Then crumbles when it comes to the playoffs. And I mean,
You could have
I'm
said
just
James Harden if you wanted to go straight for
sure. Yeah, we can put James Harden too. But I'm just so big on that wide receiver room. You have George Pickens. You have CeeDee Lamb.
Bro,
mean, just
Joel
like,
Embiid won MVP.
Yeah, I feel like we're giving him a little bit too much credit.
but yeah, I still think that the Cowboys will be they'll be solid. They'll be solid though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Moving on. Oh,
wait,
moving
but
on
let's talk about
to
the Eagles. We didn't really talk about the Eagles
okay.
yet.
Yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah. Let's do it.
yeah, that's true.
Let's talk about the Eagles.
But yeah, I don't hate them as a team. It's just like I don't think that their Saquon's going to be another 2,000-yard rusher. Someone's got to get injured on that offense. Whether it's Jalen Hurts, whether it's Saquon. Like Saquon's been injury riddled his whole career. Like I'm not rooting for an injury, obviously, but like I don't. 2 straight seasons of healthy Saquon, he really has not done that his entire career. So I think at some point, I
That's
don't
true.
think he's going to stay healthy.
Well, so probably because it's also gonna be the Madden curse too,
True.
because that's happened to CMC this year or last year.
Hopefully.
I mean, I just think the Eagles, like, they were crazy last year. They're mad good, but I mean, for them to repeat what they did last year is like kind of like insane.
Yeah, especially with
But
the
I
amount
do
of players they lost.
I do think Jalen Hurts is underappreciated. I do think they have a solid wide receiver core, but I feel like if Devontae Smith or AJ Brown, if either of them get hurt, then that would be pretty
John
crucial
Metchie.
to the offense.
John Mechie now.
Yeah.
I love John Mechie. I think he's great, but I don't know if he can really
Carry
put
the
up the same type of impact as Devontae Smith or obviously
Yeah.
AJ Brown.
For sure.
Yep. All right. Should we move on?
Moving on to the NFC North, we might argue on this division a lot because
Yeah.
a lot of variance in our answers here. Lions, Vikings, Bears, and Packers. Donnie, let's start with you. Do you want to kind of go through your opinion on why the Packers are going to be a lot better than the Lions this year?
Matthew Golden is my biggest reason. I mean, Caleb Love finally has a weapon this year, and
Caleb Love.
my bad, with Jordan Love. Jordan Love has a weapon this year, and I just think that was the biggest reason why they couldn't make that push forward through the playoffs. Because they were a solid team last year, and I just think they just needed that last piece of wide receiver. Because obviously their wide receiver room is lacking a little bit, and I'm huge on Tucker Kraft. I love Tucker Kraft. I think he's gonna have another breakout season this year. I mean, they did lose Jair, that's true, but I still think that defense it's gonna be average, but I still think that the Packers will sneakily run away with the division.
Whoa, that might be a little bit crazy then. Run away with the division?
Or
I
not
can't
run
lie.
away. They'll maybe not run away, but I think they'll be sneaky in the division to take over.
Yeah, so I had the Packers at 6-11 this year, probably a little bit different than yours.
I have them 11-6.
Yeah, so obviously I can't just pick the favorites. I need some team to overperform, some team to underperform. So the Packers are kind of my team that I kind of am fading this year. I'm not high on Jordan Love as like an elite quarterback, and I feel like that's what people are praising him, and I just don't like. I think he's the worst quarterback in this division by a decent margin. Like I'd rather go into the season with JJ.
Okay. JJ McCarthy's not even played a snap in the league.
I'm
He's
telling
never
you,
even played a snap.
The Vikings never have a bad quarterback. Like Sam Darnold should not have been as good as he was last year. Kirk Cousins, I just don't think he can be bad. Jordan Love, I just think is kind of overrated as a quarterback.
Okay, that's a crazy take.
Hey, that's all you, man.
That's all. Yeah.
And then the Lions are kind of just like the Lions. I don't think the Packers have any chance of beating them. But that's me. I guess Donnie thinks that both the Vikings and the Packers are better.
Well, I mean, the Lions obviously they lost a lot of people, a lot of coaching staff. I just feel like Jahmyr Gibbs is probably going to get injured. I just have a feeling. There's no way he stays healthy. There's just no way he stays healthy.
Well, they have David Montgomery.
Well, that's true, but like David Montgomery's not going
Reynolds.
to he's not going to produce as much as Jahmyr Gibbs can, especially when they're not in the red zone. But and then I don't know. I feel like I'm not too big on Aiden Hutchinson's return. The defense, the defense is solid, but I think it's going to be really tight between I think it's going to be tight between all of them, but I just don't think the Lions are going to be the 1 seed at all, or the first in the division.
Okay, well, for me, I disagree. I think the Lions are definitely going to take a step back from the past few years, losing Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
I really like him as a coach, but I don't think
Clearly
they're.
not having the Bears in last.
Yeah, well, I'll get to that. So the reason I have Detroit highest is just because I think roster wise they're clearly the best in the division.
Yeah.
And I actually had them their record, them and the Packers both at 10-7, but I had Lions with the tiebreaker. I just think their roster's just too good to be bad.
Well, okay. For
And
me, 10-7 is kind of outrageous because to me, everyone in this division finishes above 500 for me.
Really?
Yeah, and I think
Well, not the Packers.
no, the Packers are one. Well, actually, I think they're gonna
Well,
get
and the
the one.
Bears. Wait, you have the Bears above 500 too?
Yeah,
Jeez,
I have them at 9-8.
that'd be crazy.
well, I
Yeah.
kind of contradicted myself saying I like Ben Johnson because I have the Bears out 5-12.
Yeah,
But then
Yeah.
again, it's also the Bears, and I think their team is
Something
just
has to go
so
wrong.
their team is just so incomplete. I think Caleb Williams won't be that bad this year. I think he'll have a calm little, like a 25-10 year, but I just don't see them being that great. I do
Yeah.
like some of their pieces on defense. Like
yeah.
I really like their DBs, but
hmm
the rest of their team is just so incomplete, and I don't think they're going to be able to compete with the rest of the teams in
Well,
the division.
yeah, I agree, but I think like 2, or I mean maybe 3 years down the league, like down the road, I think the Bears could be really good, especially
No,
like the more pieces they
I
get.
agree.
I just think,
As-
they have a rookie running back in Kyle Monga who,
hmm
I really like him this year. I have him over the Packers. I think Ben Johnson's a great coach. I think the running backs are kind of under the radar. Not saying DeAndre Swift is like elite by any means, but he's serviceable for sure. And then I love their wide receivers. DJ Moore for me is like a top 5 fantasy wide receiver this year. Because of how Ben Johnson uses his wide receivers, I just think like him, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, Olamide Zaccheaus, like that's a really good offense with Colston Loveland, good offensive line,
Yeah.
revamped. Defense underrated. I just like don't think they have like a huge flaw. in
Yeah,
my-
I mean I agree.
I just don't think they have really, that much star power on offense.
fair.
So that's why. And I think with the Packers though, I think they're gonna be, pretty decent. Like I said, I have them at 10-7. But the reason I have them at 10-7 is because I'm not gonna lie, their team's mid, but mid is 8-9, 9-8. But then the only thing that puts them above that is they have a really solid run game. I love Josh Jacobs. He's one of my
Love
favorite
Josh
running
Jacobs.
backs.
Yeah,
I think he might be one of the top rushers this year. I think he'll be top 3 in yards.
I agree.
So-
Yep.
He's
I mean,
really going to make a difference for their
Jacob,
offense.
if you want to ask about being mid, just ask me. My team's been mid for the past 7 years.
Basically like
Yeah.
your whole franchise, but
Yeah,
But the thing about that is your team's never getting made fun of because they never suck.
they
we
kind
get
of.
made
I
fun
mean, I
of.
feel
We
like
get
they
made
do
fun
get
of for
made
being
fun of.
9-8 every single year.
Hey, I mean, as a Seahawk fan,
It could be.
we
It could be worse.
as a
That's
Seahawk
true.
fan, we kind of do like the same thing. We go 10-7 or 9-8. There was
Yeah.
one year where we went 7-10, but then other years we would go like back when there were 16 games, we would go like
Yeah,
12-4, 11-6, or
yeah.
11-5, 10-6.
Well, we definitely get made fun of also because of this year. Because remember, we were at some point in the season we were 9-2. And
After
we
you
finished,
guys beat the Commanders, yeah.
yeah, and then we finished 10-7. So
I was
They
pretty
filed
sad
above
about that.
500.
I was rooting for Russell Wilson, man.
yeah. All right, should we move on?
Shall we move on to probably the division that me and Jacob are probably gonna agree on the most with the Falcons? Talking about the Falcons, but the Falcons, the Bucks, the Saints, and the Panthers. Jacob, just looking at your standings wise, I would love to hear why you're so high on the Falcons because we'll get to the seeding, but very very high on the Falcons as well as
They have one of the best offenses in the league, in my opinion.
No.
They have,
yes, yeah,
in my
100%,
opinion,
100%, yeah.
people don't realize how good Michael Penix
This is
is.
Kyle Pitts' year, yeah.
Okay, this
If
is
you
definitely
watch-
biased though.
No, this
No,
is not even
even-
biased.
No, Don, you got to realize I had them going 13-4 this year. Like,
Okay,
And
that's
I'm not a
crazy.
Penix
I had them at 13-4 as well.
That is
Yep.
crazy. I had Well, I have them at like 9-8 or like 7-10, I think, something like that.
I just think like Kyle Pitts is gonna break out. I think Drake London's like a top 10 receiver. I think Bijan Robinson probably gonna have to be the best running back in the league. Michael Penix is gonna take a really big jump into the top 10. Not as high as Jacob, but and I think their defense doesn't get enough credit. We'll talk later in the awards about some of their pieces, but I'm really, really high on this team. Them and
Okay.
the Raiders, I would say, are my main two. Like, I'm very, very high on this team.
Okay, well, I'm just not high on the Falcons at all. I just don't think that they're like 13-4 good. I mean, sure, you can make an argument 10-7. I could hear that argument out, but I just can't see 13-4.
In my opinion,
Like,
it's a
okay,
weak division though.
no, I
Like,
know, but I don't want to hear like, oh, it's Kyle Pitts' year again. It's not. I don't agree.
you saw
I
what
don't.
Michael Penix said though. Like,
No,
he's
I
gonna
know,
get him
but
involved.
Michael Penix. I'm just not convinced that he's. I mean, yeah, I think he can definitely be a good quarterback in 2 years, 3 years time, but I'm just not convinced, especially for a first year. I'm just not convinced he can do it.
Why? So
Um,
Why are you so high on the Bucks then, or are you even high on them?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely high on the. I mean, it's the Bucks. They have a stacked wide receiver room. Their running back room is absolutely stacked. I'm so high on Baker Mayfield. I think he could probably be a top 5 quarterback in the league. That's my hot take. I think I mean the defense has always been solid. I'm just not too worried about the defense is probably their weakest point, obviously, but I just think the offense is just so stacked this year.
I'm not gonna
Um,
shut that down. I
yeah.
like
Yeah, that's fair.
I like that.
I mean,
Mhm.
like I think the Bucks are a solid team. I just don't. I can't. I think the Falcons are gonna be better this year.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Okay. I just want to point something out then before we continue. I just want to know why you have the Saints over the.
I. I feel like people don't give the Saints enough credit. Like,
Okay.
do
No.
I think they're making the playoffs again? Like, definitely not. Like, they're not at all a playoff team. I think people see that one throw by Tyler Shuck, and write him off instantly. Like, is he a great quarterback? No. Can he be on the level of a Geno Smith,
No.
Brock Purdy level?
No.
100% in my opinion.
No.
Like, there is a
100%
reason
no.
there is a reason he
No.
went 40th overall.
Not
I
even
get people
close.
think Shadur Sanders is better. I think Shadur Sanders is better as well.
No. I just
But,
think
like,
that
he is a very playable quarterback. Like, I had them going 7-10. I have the Panthers at 4-13. I think Bryce Young is done
Okay.
for.
Well.
I don't see the hype, but you know
I got
that's
wait,
that's
wait,
me.
wait, wait. Ben,
Yep.
just a question to ask you. Can you name one good player on the Saints? And don't say Alvin Kamara because he
Rashid
gets hurt.
Shaheed.
No,
This is the
that
name.
does
No,
not count.
good
Good,
players.
actually good player.
Like
Yeah,
actual
no,
like
no,
real
no,
like
Rashid Shaheed.
I'm not saying
This is
good like eight I'm not saying 800-yard good. I'm
That's
saying
no,
like
no. He's having 1,000-yard season. You have Chris
No,
Olave
okay, I'm talking
uh,
about from last season. Okay, how about from last season?
from last season. Like, no, they didn't. Like, they're a different
No,
team now.
this
They
okay,
have.
to me the Saints are gonna be the worst team in the league. That's just that was my
That's
prediction.
the
I have
take
them at
everyone
2 and
has.
15, bro.
Yeah, I have them tanking for Arch Manning.
I just like I don't. I feel like Tyler Shuck like got drafted for a reason. Like, you're not taking a quarterback 40th overall if you're just gonna take like tank for Arch Manning the next year.
No, I think
Like,
the Saints would be dumb not to tank for Arch Manning. Look at their roster; it's pitiful.
I understand that, but I think Tyler Shuck is too good to be 2-15. That's probably a crazy take, but like everyone sees the one throw and just like thinks that he's the worst
Okay,
quarterback.
well, obviously you didn't
Like,
watch
you
preseason.
gotta watch his tape at Louisville. You gotta watch his tape in the preseason. Like, he's a very solid quarterback. Like, is he an MVP? Definitely not. That's not what he was drafted for.
Bro,
But
they almost lost to the Huskies.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bro, they
like,
almost lost to the Huskies last year, bro.
yeah, but like, he's a solid quarterback, and I think that's a hot take, and I think people don't like that take, but I think people don't give him enough credit, and I don't think people give Kellen Moore enough credit as a head coach, like as a coach. Great offensive mind, and
No,
he's
okay. Also,
been very good
thing,
everywhere he's gone.
another thing that I hate is that you always hate on Ted McMillan. I just don't understand the
I
hate.
have Ted McMillan. I have Ted McMillan like 1,000 yards easy.
That is
I
not
don't
true.
believe in
No,
Bryce
that's not
Young.
true. Because when he was drafted, you spammed and you told everyone that he was going to be the biggest bust of the year.
No,
You told me
whoa,
that
whoa.
Ted McMillan was. I can show the chat logs. You
Yeah,
told me
yeah,
that
no,
Ted
you
McMillan
can.
was going to bust.
The reason I
Had a
put
change
Panthers
of
in
mind.
fourth is not because of Ted McMillan. I believe in Ted McMillan. I believe in Chuba Hubbard. I am very doubtful that Bryce Young takes a step forward, and I think he will be benched by midway through the season. Like,
You did
that
not
is,
watch. You didn't watch second half of the season, Bryce
I didn't
Young.
watch. I didn't. Okay, he balled out the last week of the season, but if you look at his
No,
numbers
not even last
outside of
week.
that,
Like
like
last
he was
like
mid.
5 weeks.
He was mid outside the last week. He just put up crazy numbers week 18 or whatever. So it makes his numbers look like crazy when you take like the last few weeks.
No, I'm big on Bryce Young.
Yeah, I like the Panthers, but it's just like their schedule. They're playing a lot of pretty good teams, and
That's true.
I just
Saints,
it's just
yep,
kind of well, not the Saints, but I just see them like keeping it close every game, but
Yeah.
not winning.
fair.
And I think Bryce Young's gonna have pretty solid, pretty solid level play. I think that he can, have a great season, and especially with the kind of quarterback the NFC has kind of like lackluster quarterbacks. Um,
Kyler
I think
Shucks,
no, nah.
QB1.
I don't know, but I think Bryce Young could really take it. I think he takes a step up this
Yeah.
year, especially just with, a more solid offense around him, and their defense, in my opinion's not that bad. So I think, but I don't have them going that great just because they have a tough schedule. But that's why I have them over the Saints because I just don't think they suck.
All right.
Shall we get to the final division here?
Yep. Jacob's
Oh,
division.
Jacob, it's
my
your time here. We got the Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, and Cardinals in the NFC West. Jacob, as you are the Seahawks fan here, you want to start with why you believe so heavily in this team?
because the culture in Seattle. No, I'm just playing. Nah, it's really just, in my opinion, I think that the rest of the teams in the division are not as just the offense isn't or the defense isn't going to be as good as the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks have the best defense in the league, and
Whoa.
that's me unbiasedly saying that. I look at their roster and I don't see any flaws on defense. I don't see any weak points. Our
Okay. Well,
weakest
I'm.
point on the defense, in my opinion, might be
Tyrese Knight.
might be Tyrese Knight, and I think he's an above average linebacker. And I think he's an above average linebacker, especially after last season. So their defense, in my opinion, is best in the league, definitely best in the division. Um, and then the rest of the division, I have. Okay, this is kind of stupid with my rankings. This is another division that I have where all the teams go above 500.
No, I don't see that happening.
And I have 49ers or I have Seahawks 12 and 5, 49ers 10 and 7, Cardinals 9 and 8, Rams 9 and 8. I think this could go all ways, but I feel like the Rams are going to take a step back, and I think cuz Matthew Stafford is getting pretty old, and I think he will regress, and people always talk about how great of a quarterback he is, and I think he is great, but how much longer can he keep that up though just because of his age? I don't know. I think 49ers are underrated. I mean, Donnie, you have them last. I'm not really sure why you have them last. I think they're a great team. They were just
You
riddled
got to
by
get me out.
injuries.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were just riddled by injuries last year. And really, as a Seahawks fan, when we played them, I felt like it was a pretty tough, tough matchup. And we
And
barely
that was
came
without
out.
CMC.
Okay. Well. Okay. I want to. Okay. Ben and I. We'll talk about Rams first. I'm gonna talk about the 49ers last.
Okay.
I'll save that. But let's. I mean, I think obviously the reason why Ben and I have Rams first, their offense just looks so explosive. Like it's easily. I mean, it's up there with the Bucks for one of the best offenses. Their
The
defense.
Bucks do not have the best offense. Like let's not go there.
I never said
Like
the
the
best. I
Commanders
said
have a better offense than the Bucks. Like that's just true.
okay,
And the
fine.
Falcons.
And
Well, yeah, but their
Falcons.
defense, the defense last year just shocked me. I mean, no one expected the Rams defense to be like that solid because everyone thought they were going to have probably a bottom half of the, or not even like really low defense. And I just think Matthew Stafford, I think he can still be that guy, especially, I mean, you give away Cooper Kupp, you take in Devontae Adams, I think that's a huge upgrade to me. And even with Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford's really productive. I think Kyron Williams, I think he might have an off year this year, but I don't think that should affect the Rams too much, in my opinion. I think Puka, of course, he's going to do Puka things.
Yeah, I think the depth for the Rams is really underrated. Like not only at the quarterback position where you have Jimmy G, but like I just think you have Devontae, you have Puka, obviously, you have Kyron, you have Terrence Ferguson who they drafted in the second round this
Sure.
year, who I am very high on. I just think you look at like who they draft and they don't miss on draft picks like the last few
Yeah.
years. Like they took Kyron Williams in like the fifth round. They took Puka in like the sixth, obviously.
Yeah.
Um I just like Terrence Ferguson. I think is going to be a stud. You look at their defense. I think a similar. I think it's on par with the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are probably stronger, but
Yeah.
I also think that they don't really have a hole on that defense other than maybe linebacker. But going to the 49ers, I think similar to Jacobs. That's why I have them second. I think they're underrated. I think people don't see how many injuries they had last year and how they still went whatever they did 7-10. 7-10 or something.
Hmm.
But yeah, and then Cardinals and Seahawks, like I think all these teams are decent. I just have Rams probably a tier above the
Yeah,
other.
I mean, for me, I have the Rams fighting for the 2 seed with the Packers, in my opinion. I just think that's how competitive the Rams are going to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not
I
saying they're
mean,
bad when I have them at fourth.
yeah.
I'm not
yeah,
saying
I
they're
mean,
bad.
don't get
It's
me
just
wrong, the
that this
Seahawks.
division is solid.
Yeah, I mean, the
Uh,
Seahawks are going to be decent too. I have them at 9-8, fighting for the 7th seed with the Cowboys, but I don't know. I'm just not too convinced. I'm not too convinced with the offense in general. I think they're going to have to rely on JSN too much. I'm not too big on K9.
Sharp in the
Um,
season. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not. I
What
mean, I'm
about Torrey
definitely.
Horton?
I mean, I'm definitely.
I was about to bring Torrey
That's
Horton
true.
up, that I think he is going to emerge as the wide receiver too.
That's true.
That's I don't believe enough in Cooper Cup,
Yeah,
especially in a long-term contract. I
for
think you saw
sure.
last year he just wasn't good,
Yeah.
especially in the back half. And I think, yeah, I don't believe in Sam Darnold being
Yeah,
what
okay,
he is.
I know. I don't think I've heard any Seahawks fans so far say that they believe in Sam Darnold
I
yet.
feel like they
I do.
definitely do. No, whoa. I feel
Like
like too
really,
many
because
have. I don't think that they should.
I just don't believe. I believe in Aaron Rodgers more than Sam Darnold.
Oh, okay. That's crazy to
I
me.
just
I think,
think like the Vikings are a quarterback factory, and then you look how Kirk Cousins performed after he left. You look how all these other quarterbacks like KOC, the Vikings coach, has coached after
wait,
they
okay,
leave.
wait,
Like they just aren't the same, and I just don't think that
yeah,
Sam
exactly.
Darnold
No,
is.
I don't
that's
think he's gonna
exactly
be as
why.
good. I don't think he's gonna be as good as last year.
I think it's
But
just like Geno Smith is just better. Like I don't know. That's my
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I
to me,
think
yeah. No, sorry, you go, Jacob.
I think that Geno Smith and Sam Darnold are, kind of on the same tier in my opinion. But I feel as if Sam Darnold never really got his true chance um, you know, until he got to Minnesota. And sure, Minnesota, that's like where you want to be as a quarterback. But don't forget, he still led them to an amazing record. And not anyone can just do that,
That's
even
true.
though the team is like perfectly built for the quarterback.
Yeah,
Not everyone can do that. And he did get absolutely mauled in the playoffs.
yeah,
And a lot of people say it's his fault, but getting sacked 9 times, a lot of that can't be that cannot fully be the quarterback's fault.
yeah. I mean, okay, and also I have the Cardinals third. I've never been big on Kyler Murray. I've never been. I don't know what all the hype's about on Kyler
I think they
Murray.
got to move on after this year.
Yeah,
Like I just
yeah.
yeah.
I'm not too big. I'm not too big on James. I mean, James Conner is a decent running back, but I don't understand what the hype is about James Conner. And okay, so I'm gonna get to my last point. 49ers being last, I don't trust them at all. I think I mean, I've already told Ben, I think Brandon Ayuk is the most overrated receiver in the league right now. Um, I
I
don't,
agree.
yeah, I, j- I don't think the offense is gonna run as well. I just don't think that the defense got a bit terrible. They lost Dre Greenlaw. I mean, they still have Fred Warner, but I don't know. I'm just not. Didn't they also lose Tyler Hufanga also?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's on that Broncos team.
Yeah, exactly. So I just don't think the defense is gonna be that good, and I'm just not convinced that the 49ers will do anything good this season.
Um, I
Yes,
disagree.
I mean you. I think you also have to take into account that like Brandon Ayuk tore his ACL last year. Ricky Pearsall got shot like
Yeah,
a few
It's
weeks
like
before the season. Like um, kind of freak incidents that you don't really expect. And I just think, well, none of them are top 10 wide receivers. I think they're all like Juwan Jennings too. Well, probably the most underrated wide receiver in the league. Um, I just think like their offense is really solid. Their defense really solid. They have young guys, Jair Brown, linebacker. I forget the name, but like the team's young. Like they have young pieces. Michael Williams, who they drafted in the first round this year. Like they have really good pieces. And I think really this division, other than probably the Cardinals, could go the way of the Rams, 49ers, or Seahawks.
Yeah, I agree too. But I feel like the Cardinals, I don't have them last just because they're so like
Decent.
they're
Like
so
they're
decent. Like there's not really a hole in the roster that they need to fill. But then again, they don't really have the stars that they need. I
hmm
think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to take a big jump. I think he'll probably have around 1,200 yards. So I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be decent, but
yeah.
I think all the teams in this division are going to be above average. So
All right.
yeah.
Shall we move on to the seeding of the playoffs? Starting
Ooh.
back, let's go back to the AFC. So all of our division winners are the same, 1 through 3. I mean, we can talk about that, but not really. Like they were just flip flopped in the end. I had the Chiefs one, Donnie had the Bills one, Jacob had the Ravens one. All of which I could completely argue for. We all had the Texans for.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That's just the weakest division. And then moving on to the wild card, me and Jacob both had the Bengals. We all had the Broncos, and then me and Donnie had the Chargers, and then Donnie and Jacob had the lone ones with the Jets and the Steelers. You guys want to talk about anything there?
This is our year. We're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. I'm telling you. We're gonna go 11-6. We're gonna face the Chiefs. We're gonna beat the Chiefs. We're gonna go into Bills or yeah, we're gonna go to the Bills. We're gonna win, and I think that we are gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm just calling it.
That contradicts your pick, but
Well, yeah, it's true, but it's okay.
And I want to talk about how you guys. Well, I'll get to my Jets real quick, and then after, I want to hear you guys talk about the Chargers and why you think
Okay.
Chargers are really a playoff team. So, I said Jets made the playoffs just because of their uh going from Aaron Rodgers to Justin Fields. I'm not too big on Aaron Rodgers. Sorry, Donnie. But I really like Justin Fields, and I think with a roster like this that he can produce, I think Garrett Wilson's going to be great. I think if the running backs stay healthy, then they're going to have a really solid run game. They have a great defense. I think Sauce Gardner is going to have an amazing year. I just think, overall, their teams, like, I think they're nice. I think they're nice.
All right. I mean, okay,
Chargers.
so
Chargers. I
okay,
mean, do I think they're gonna win a playoff game? No, but
yeah,
like the John Harbaugh or one of the Harbaughs, whatever it is,
Jim
yeah,
is a
Harbaugh,
really
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh is a really good coach. Like,
great
Hmm.
gotta
coach.
give him credit for that. Like, he wins wherever he goes. I just don't think they're gonna be bad by any means. But like, you had them third. I think they go 9-8 or 10-7 and squeak into that. I mean, I had them tie break with the Raiders. So like, it's not like I think that they're elite by any means, but I do think that they deserve credit for being
Yeah.
a very solid team.
I mean, another
Yeah,
reason why I was pretty big on the Chargers too. I mean, I feel like as a Steelers fan, Najee Harris doesn't get enough credit that yeah, I just feel like he's not given enough credit. He's not a terrible running back, and I feel like you would take Najee Harris over J.K. Dobbins like any day of the week.
No chance.
I mean,
I'd
I
take
For
would
sure.
J.K. Dobbins.
really. Okay, so I would
J.K.
take Najee.
Dobbins is nice.
I
But
think
I don't think
I
Najee's RB1 on that team.
no, he for
No,
sure
obviously
isn't.
can't.
No, obviously not. But I think that they could be like a little Walmart version of what the Lions have with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm just saying. I just think
Yeah.
Najee and Marion Hampton are just a perfect pair right now, and I think that run game is definitely going to help the Chargers come back into the playoffs.
Yeah. Moving over to the NFC, a little bit different here. Donnie, what do you think about our Falcons hype here?
I just don't understand. I honestly just don't understand the Falcons hype. I mean, come back to me in 8 weeks. I'll maybe understand why, but I'm just not big on the Falcons right now. I'm just not too big. I don't really understand what all the Falcons hype is about. I am big on the Packers though. You can obviously tell. I put
Yeah.
them at the 2 seed. I don't know why Jacob put the Seahawks as the 2 seed. This doesn't
I
make
think
any
it's more
sense.
likely the Packers being the 2 seed.
I think the Packers are gonna be good. I don't understand what you're saying. Um,
Well,
but I think okay, no, but I do think Eagles being the 1 seed is going to be competitive with the Commanders. I do think it's going to come down to Week 18, Commanders and Eagles. I could see the Commanders. I mean, they could take the 1 seed. It's definitely realistic, but I just think that the Eagles can they might edge them out.
I think, well, I put the Seahawks at second just based off of record because when I did my predictor, it's the record. So somehow they ended up as the 2 seed just because they won the
Somehow, yeah,
division.
somehow they ended up.
Just because
Somehow.
they won the division, and I had them having the same or better records than the Commanders or the Lions. And the thing is with the Falcons, bro, I think they have the best offense in the league. There's Bro, you can't stop the freaking
So
three-headed. You can't stop the three-headed monster with.
Outfits.
I didn't add him in that one,
No.
but I added. I say it's Penix, Bijan, and Drake
Drake,
London.
yeah.
I think those three together just create just such a like a superpower offense. And then I guess you could throw Kyle Pitts in there, and that would make them like the Avengers, the
Sure.
NFC Avengers. And I think Penix is amazing. I mean, I've seen him at Washington, and I watched all the Falcon games this year. And
I mean, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong.
statistically,
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I feel
yeah.
like the Falcons do have a high ceiling. I just don't see them like right now, as we're speaking, being the 1 or 2 seed.
Donnie, do we wanna you wanna just keep on talking about why you're against the in our MVP pick, or that was we'll keep go after this, but Super Bowl picks. I have the Commanders over the Ravens. Donnie, you want to explain yours?
I don't know. I just think the Bills are pretty good. I mean, the Bills are solid. I
Fair.
mean, there's.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like this is the year. This is probably. I mean, I'm gonna sound like a Kyle Pitts guy, but this is the year the Bills will overcome the Chiefs. I just feel it. I think it's gonna happen. The Ravens always find a way to choke in the playoffs. Ben, I just think your pick is just too biased. And Jacob, your pick's not that bad, honestly. I could see it happening.
Yeah, but you got to realize that you got to the Super Bowl and anyone has a chance. And I
Yeah.
think that the Commanders have a huge chance and a huge opportunity to make the Super Bowl.
The
With the
Maryland matchup.
I
I
also
think so
think it would
too.
be super fun to have two teams with crazy close proximity in the Ravens and Commanders in the Super Bowl. That would
Sure.
be really hype.
I would love that Super Bowl, man. That'd be such a
That's
great.
a fun.
That'd be great to watch.
I think I would
But
love a Steelers Eagles Super Bowl.
The Kenny Pickett, the Kenny Pickett
The-
Bowl.
Can you pick it? Oh, yeah, he gets it. Yeah, he played for
the
both
Pennsylvania
teams.
Bowl.
Yeah, the
Or-
Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Exactly. Exactly.
Only need to
That's
lose
crazy.
48-0.
Yeah, the
And
Steelers
then,
will win. Yeah, the
Jacob,
Steelers
do
will
you
win
want to talk
49.
on yours at all? I mean, it's
Um,
very likely, obviously, but
Yeah, that's kind of just why I had the Chiefs going crazy in the playoffs. I mean, like they usually do. I had them at 11-6 their season record, but
it's
I
turned
think
around.
I think they'll just blow through the playoffs just because they have Patrick Mahomes, and I mean their offense isn't looking as great, but Mahomes makes everyone else go up probably like 10 overalls, honestly,
sure.
just because of his
Yep.
playmaking. And I really like their defense. I really like Trent McDuffie. He's
Mhm.
one of my favorite DBs in the league.
Because he went to
Um,
UW.
Yo,
Bro, he was so
he was
locked
so
at
good.
UW. And I love their linebackers. Their linebackers are great. And
That's
Chris
true.
Jones too. He's so solid. So I really think they're great. And then with the Commanders, I think they're just a better team than the rest for the playoffs. Like in my NFC championship, I had Eagles Commanders, and I had it being a close game. It's a rematch of last year for
The
the
Falcons? No, I had Falcons Commanders in my NFC
Oh.
Championship.
well, the way it came down to it, the Eagles had to play the Falcons, and I just chose the more experienced team
Fair.
to win that.
Yeah.
And in my AFC championship, I had Jets Chiefs
Oh, yeah, I did see
That's
that. I was like,
crazy.
whoa.
because
That's
I had
crazy.
the Jets just somehow upsetting the Bills first round, and somehow upsetting the Ravens. It was just kind of one of those like
That would be
Indiana
crazy.
like an Indiana Pacers black magic
Yep.
kind of
Commanders run.
run. But
All right.
I mean, focus on the Super Bowl. I just think Mahomes, he's one of the greatest of all time, and so to speak, he's still in his prime. So
Fair.
That's fair enough.
Should we get Jacob? Let's start with you here. Donnie.
All right, bro. I forgot I did that. Nah, I mean, I think in that offense, they have the best record in the league in my rankings.
Yep.
They have the best record in the league. They haven't. I think they get carried by their offense, and in my opinion, the best player on that offense, well, Bijan Robinson's great, but I think statistically, Michael Penix is going to put up an amazing year. Although those two other picks, Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts, I think those two guys might actually come second and third in the rankings. Or Lamar will be in there somewhere, Josh Allen will be in there somewhere, but I think those other two quarterbacks are top 5 guys. So I really agree with that. But I just think Penix is just gonna carry or not carry the offense, but he's gonna have so much offensive power to work with, and he's gonna thrive in Atlanta.
I just
I
think
can
this is
just
the most
tell.
except for my pick, I'm gonna say this is the most biased MVP picks I've ever seen. I mean,
Well,
Ben obviously sees Jane Daniels
I
because he
mean,
can
like, what did
understand.
you got to realize? Like, what did you expect with me? Like, of course
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay.
take him. Like,
Okay, yeah,
And that's
okay.
not even crazy.
that's
Jaden
not
Daniels.
crazy. It's 10 times less crazy than Michael Penix. But
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a little.
exactly.
Hey, but
Okay,
that's just a
well,
hot take.
okay, well, the reason why
I
I've
just don't think Jalen Hurts would ever put up better
no,
numbers.
okay,
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have the
Statistically,
passing
Jalen Hurts
numbers
isn't
to
doing it.
no,
ever
okay. The
be
reason
an
why I
MVP.
have Jalen Hurts is because I think I've already repeated it, but I don't think Saquon's gonna have. I mean, you even said it too. Saquon's not gonna have like another year that he had. And I think that's going to allow for Jalen Hurts to do a little bit more. Because obviously I think he's a really good quarterback in my opinion. I think I mean, possibly top 5 quarterback in the league.
Top one, I guess, after this season.
Sure, yeah, exactly. I think he's just going to have a breakout year. Um, and I'm just so big on. I love his wide receiver room. I love John Mechie. That John Mechie definitely amped me up even more to say why he's MVP even more. And I don't know. I just feel like this is Jalen Hurts' year. I mean, he won the Super Bowl. He has even more reason to chase after another achievement.
Fair. And then Jaden
I'll,
Daniels, what can I say? I just I don't I hear all the sophomore slump. I hear we got lucky last year, but you just got to realize like I don't. It's probably gonna sound like insane, Glaze, but like this guy is just different. Like you don't get this quarterback every single year. Like this is not a Jalen Hurts. This is not a CJ Stroud type of guy where like he's a very good quarterback. Like this is a top
No,
three
but that's what
quarterback for the
everyone
next
said about
15
CJ.
years.
That's what everyone said about CJ Stroud after like his first year
No,
too.
I understand that, but I think you look
Jaden
at what he
Daniels is.
did and look how much he uplifted his team and look what he did in the playoffs. Like I just don't think that this is a thing where you can even consider a sophomore slump. And it's actually a season where I think he probably throws for 35 touchdowns, rushes for probably 12 more, and has like some stupid stats. Like I think he carries this offense and obviously carries them to the 1 seed in my opinion.
Well, also adding on to that, I think Jaden Daniels is much better than CJ Stroud, even though I think CJ Stroud is probably up there as
Yeah.
maybe a top 10 QB. But Jaden Daniels, in my opinion, is like a top 3
Well, I
QB.
feel like we're only saying that though because of his sophomore slump. I mean, I remember everyone after rookie season, CJ Stroud, everyone was saying how good he was.
No, I understand that, but I think you also got to look at like the circumstances. Like the Commanders' weapons, like straight up, like are not elite by any means. Like Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt's going to be a top 10 running
Okay,
back
well
this
you just
year.
said, didn't you just say
Terry McLaurin's a top 5 wide receiver, but outside of that, like you don't really have anyone. Zach
you have
Ertz is
Zach
like
Ertz. Zach Ertz is a
50 years
solid
old
tight
now.
end.
Like I just like
Zach Ertz is a solid tight end. I don't want to hear anything.
he's very he's solid. He's also like 50. But let's move on to our offensive player of the year. Don, let's start with you with Jamar Chase here.
I mean, I think it's gonna be all offense for the Bengals. They're gonna have to rely on their offense so much. It's like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. It's like playing Madden on rookie mode for them, in my opinion. They're just gonna be chucking the ball left and right. Jamar Chase. I mean, if Saquon didn't have that big year, I think Jamar Chase should have won Offensive Player of the Year. And I just think he's probably gonna run it back again.
Fair. I think these are probably more realistic picks for us. I think Jahmyr Gibbs takes another step forward. I think David Montgomery kind of takes another step back or like takes into another lesser role. Because Ben Johnson isn't there, I think they have like a different mindset in the offense where it's like less of a two running back set, and I think it's more like Jahmyr Gibbs gets 25 carries a night, and puts up some crazy numbers, and obviously he can catch passes too. And I
Yeah.
think he's in a top 3 to 5 offense. So I think that's him, and obviously Derrick Henry for probably a similar reason.
Yeah, I think Derrick Henry, just within that offense with Lamar, they're going to be more focused on Lamar than Derrick Henry, honestly. So giving the ball to Derrick Henry is kind of like their second option, but which will be kind of like their first option. Kind of like how in Philadelphia, when Saquon was there, he elevated that offense, but it felt like more they have such great weapons as receivers. They're going to have to be worried about the pass. And with Jalen Hurts at quarterback, he's a great quarterback. So they're going to have to be worried about the pass. So they're going to give that little bit of room to the run game. And so Derrick Henry's just going to eat. He's just going to eat.
Well,
I
I
don't think
mean,
he's going to go for 2,000 yards. I say he goes for 1,700 yards, but he gets over like 18 touchdowns. So
well,
that's
Derrick
why I
Henry
think
can
he
never win
monsters.
Offensive Player of the Year when he has to face the Steelers run D twice a year. So it's never gonna happen.
Defensive player of the year. So Donnie, you talked earlier about how you don't believe in Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I have Aiden Hutchinson, Depoy. Um,
What are we what are we doing here?
well, we'll get to that. We'll get to, the third name on the board there. Who I think Donnie's not giving enough credit to, but Jacob can talk more about that. But yeah, I
No,
think Aiden
I know
Hutchinson.
he's a good player, but is he
Whoa,
a defensive player of the year caliber? No.
I think Aiden Hutchinson is gonna be even better. You saw what he did when he was healthy last year, and I think he comes back to the same, if not better, with a whole year of recovery. And I think he probably puts up some stupid numbers. And I have the Lions both having the offensive player of the year and defensive player of the year, which
Well,
would
actually, okay,
be
so I
pretty
have
cool.
Aiden Hutchinson as my runner-up to TJ Watt, but
Oh,
I mean, TJ Watt's probably gonna do something crazy again. I love TJ Watt.
and why
I
is
And
just
that?
said he was not big on Aiden Hutchinson.
He said that when you were going up the lunch. He's like, I don't think that he's gonna come back close to what he was.
well, I mean,
Runner up
yeah,
to
okay, no, I mean, yeah, because close to what he was, he would have been like running away with the defensive player of the
right.
year, obviously. But he's not gonna be as good, but I think he'll definitely be compete. I mean, don't get me wrong, TJ Watt's not gonna have he's not gonna have like a 25 sack season. Don't get me wrong. But he's definitely gonna have he's gonna be putting up some decent numbers to the
Yeah.
point where he'll probably be favored to win defensive player of the year.
Jacob,
Okay, now hear me out now. All right, Leonard Williams last year, some might say, was one of the best at his positions in the league. And
Said
my
no one.
opinion,
I think no. Whoa, whoa,
whoa,
Donnie,
whoa,
that is a
whoa.
very fair take. He is a top 10 edge
You're
rusher.
top 10, but not one of the best. Jacob just said one of the
Top 10
best.
could be one of the best.
Top 10, no, one of the best is top 5 in my opinion.
Okay, top five's arguable for a
I think
Seahawks
he's
fan.
top five. I think he's top five. But what really will set him apart this year is the addition of Demarcus Lawrence on the other side. They can't put the tight end on his side every single time now. They can't double team him every single time now, adding the Seahawks defensive front is insane this year because people don't give the respect to Derek Hall or
That's true.
Boye Mafe, who those guys rack up sacks every year. And you also can't forget Uchenna Nwosu if he stays healthy. He's pretty
And Byron
solid.
Murphy.
And
Hmm.
well, Byron Murphy, he's kind of the plug. He's kind of the
Yeah.
middleman.
Yeah.
Him and Jaron Reed. Oh, and Jaron Reed too, bro. This is like a solid, bro. Such a solid up
You
front.
gotta realize,
But
Jacob, and then the Commanders is like Dorrance Armstrong and Von Miller and Javon Kinlaw.
I mean, they're good too. I'm not saying
Then
that they're
no, but you have 7 players on the Seahawks, and I would
Yeah,
probably
there's
take 5 or 6 of those out over every single person on defense.
no, and then the issue is Leonard Williams he's probably gonna get overshadowed by all those players you just said because they're just gonna be
No, 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 no. But I think that
he's
means
the best
I
out of
think
all
more
those guys.
people have to pay attention to those other guys. So Leonard Williams has like better matchups.
That's
Is
exactly what I'm
he's yeah.
thinking. And
All right.
statistically, I think it's all going to come down to statistics and
Sacks. Yeah.
yeah, sacks is going to come down to statistics and a lot of PFF stuff, like kind of those ratings. And they're going to realize, like, since they're going to be having to focus on the defense instead of just Leonard Williams himself, he's going to eat. He's going to be, I think the Seahawks, like, statistically, grade wise, all that, Seahawks are going to be the best defense. And then
Best player on the best.
he's going to be,
defense,
yeah, best player on the best defense. And he's
All
going
right.
to have amazing sacks. And I think there's going to be a lot of other players who might be able to compete with that. I think Myles Garrett will definitely be up there. Hot
Yep.
take.
All
And
right.
TJ Watt.
No, Donnie probably is like the biggest Miles
I
Garrett
hate with all my heart. I hope a nuke just falls on Miles Garrett. I hate that man. I hate that
Myles
man
Garrett.
so much. He's
Myles
just not.
Garrett and TJ Watt are great.
He's so unfunny.
Yeah.
He's just not funny. He's not a good player. He's the most overrated player. I think he's just.
Did Mason
terrible.
Rudolph say that word? Oh, we all know.
Okay, offensive rookie of the year. Me and Donnie Ashton Genty, probably the obvious pick and very
Yeah.
fair. But I think Travion Henderson doesn't get enough credit. Probably gonna be the RB1 in Patriots, should be over Ramondre, but I think he is going to be elite as well. You saw what he did against the Commanders with a kickoff return for a touchdown on the first player of his NFL career. So I think
True.
that's very fair as well. But do you want to give your judgment on that as well,
I mean,
Jacob?
I think the Patriots offense isn't going to be that great. But I mean, having Drake May at quarterback isn't the worst, and I think their receivers are not very good, but they're gonna hand the ball off a lot, and they're gonna run the ball a lot, and that's kind of how, even with different coaches,
Well,
that's kind of how
yeah,
they.
Mike Vrabel with Derrick Henry. Like, I don't. Sorry, I just thought of that. But like, that could be a comparison. Not like Trayvon Henderson and Derrick
Sure.
Henry, but like same style.
Yeah.
But I was saying like, Patriots have always been a run first. Patriots are always running the ball. I don't know if you guys remember, but a few years ago, they had a game when Mac Jones was at quarterback. They threw the ball 3 times that
Against the
game
Bills.
against the
Yeah.
Bills. Yeah, and I mean, it was kind of working. Like they had a
Yeah.
solid run game.
It's
They were
true.
just always a running team, and with him at RB1, and I think he's a dog too. I think
Yeah.
he's a dog.
I
I
mean,
thought he was better than Judkins at Ohio
yeah.
State, and I think he's one of the best running backs in this class. I think him and Genty, could both be pretty good,
Yeah.
but I just trust Travion Henderson just because he's gonna get that workload. And with the Raiders, I mean, I like Ashton Genty, but I just don't see him getting the same workload as Travion Henderson this year.
Yeah, your reason for
Sure.
Henderson was kind of my reason for Genty. I just think Genty's more, at least at the start of the year, going to be more of a part of the offense. Like they have Bowers, they have Jacoby Myers, but like I think Genty gets more touches than Henderson.
Hmm.
That's kind of what carries him, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I think out of all of Jacobs' like picks so far, this is the most mild one. This is the most tamed one because I think Travion Henderson can definitely be. He can definitely be like up for vote for top 5 offensive rookie of the year.
So
But
Jacob, did you have Gray Zabel as the runner-up?
Oh, I wanted to do that, but nah. But my runner-up, probably was Ted McMillan.
Yeah, I think
That's not
he's
even that great. That's not even that
Just,
great. But yeah, I
just
just think
cause.
same reason. But I'm just gonna mirror exactly what Ben just said. Just Ashton GT being more involved. Early weeks is definitely what's gonna carry him to that award.
defensive rookie of the year here. Um, Donnie, you want to start this one?
I mean, it's Abdul Carr. I think he's pretty good. I mean, did you spell his name wrong? It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever.
Oh, dang
Adbull.
it. Ah,
Abdul.
dang it.
It's okay. I just think he's gonna be really, really good. I don't know. I'm not too sold on Brian Burns. I think he's definitely gonna start declining. I'm not too big on Brian Burns. I'm just gonna say it.
Well, I feel
I've
like if
never.
there's anyone you don't have to be high on, you could say like Kayvon
Well,
Thibodeau or someone like that.
I was about to say that. I'm not too high on Kayvon Thibodeau, but I'm
I
just
think
not.
Brian Burns is elite though. I think it's just like
Yeah. I mean, Jalen Walker's not even a bad take. I have to be honest. Jalen Walker's not even a bad take. I think that's a valid take for Jalen Walker. He's an insane linebacker.
and that he's not a linebacker, but yeah, sure.
Sorry, edge
Um,
rusher. My bad.
but yeah, I just think Jalen Walker is kind of another reason why I have the Falcons at 13-4. I think they haven't had a great edge rusher in I don't know, like forever basically, and I think drafting Jalen Walker and drafting and trading up for James Pierce Jr. At 26 in this past draft, and giving up a future first, like I think this really says like we need to address this issue, and I think they really believe in Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was like my fourth or fifth top player in this class. I am like absurdly high on him, and I think the Falcons was the perfect landing spot. So I think
Yeah.
all in all, he's going to put up the best numbers. Even though I think Abdul Carter
Yeah. I
not
mean,
as
I
much
could
Travis
see.
Hunter, but like I think they'll put up good numbers.
I mean, I could see Jalen Walker, Abdul Carter. I could definitely see them being interchangeable. They could definitely be runner-ups to each other. But I'm very curious about the Travis Hunter take.
Well, I think the Jaguars, in the beginning of the season, they're gonna have him play a little bit more snaps on offense, but then throughout the season, it's just gonna be like there's not really any use to have Travis Hunter on the offense if he's gonna be like a wide receiver 3 and he's not gonna be as focused on the position. And I feel like the NFL, they're gonna give him the award just because it's
That was
Travis
my
Hunter.
True.
when I saw you give it, I was like, okay, they're just gonna glaze Travis Hunter and be like, yeah, he's the winner for
Yeah.
offensive and defensive.
Yeah, but
But
the
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
like, I think he'll have a lot of like crazy highlight plays.
Sure.
There's gonna be so much hype around him. But then like the PFF numbers and everything, I think there's gonna be like James Pierce Jr., Abdul Carter, like those guys
Yeah.
might be a little higher. But they're gonna give it to Travis Hunter because he's flashy, he's popular, he's likable, he was the Heisman, like
Yep.
Sure.
going into it, like
I mean, the
Everyone.
reason why I don't have Travis Hunter, yeah, I mean, I don't even think I have him as my top five rookies of like defensive rookies of the year. I think it's just I don't think he can last the whole season. I just don't think with the amount of snaps he's playing, with the amount of work he has to put in the NFL, I just don't think he'll last. I mean, he'll definitely play a lot of the season. Don't get me wrong, but I think probably have to miss a few games because I just don't think he can last be playing both sides at a high level.
Well, I think he's just not gonna play both sides really to that
That's also true.
standard.
But then
I
it's
think
also gonna take away some of his stats from offense and defense too, but which doesn't give him any reason to win the award.
No, I don't think he'll. I think even Jacob is saying like I don't think he's gonna put up the best numbers for a defensive
Yeah.
rookie, but like they're gonna like see Travis Hunter,
Yeah.
see the name Travis Hunter versus I don't know Jalen Walker or James Pierce or any of those guys like, and you see Travis Hunter and you pick Travis Hunter even if
Yeah,
just because you have to take into account he also played snaps on offense or
Yeah, that's true. All right.
And then finally, kind of fitting with our favorite teams. You can kind of see this coming. Donnie taking the Packers coach Matt LaFleur, and then both me and Jacob taking Raheem Morris, the Falcons coach. I think this was probably you could guess this based off
Yeah.
everything else we've said about these teams. Us being very high on them. But yeah, I think Falcons are elite, and I think Raheem Morris is a big part.
Yeah, I think he has a pretty easy job. I'm not gonna lie with his roster. He has such an easy job to just. He doesn't even have to do much. It might be kind of like, I don't know if y'all remember, for NBA Bucks when Mike Budenholzer won
Yep.
Coach of the Year with that insane Bucks team. I think it's just kind of like that. Like, you just have to be an average coach, and you will win Coach of the Year with this
Yep.
squad.
I mean, I like Matt LaFleur. I've already stated why the Packers are going to be good. I just think that he's probably going to win Coach of the Year just for how good the Packers will perform.
Fair.
All right, yeah.
So that is about all we have. Very interesting takes from probably all of us.
Mainly Jacob.
Mainly Jacob, but who knows? Anything
You
can
gotta
happen
take shots in the
NFL
dark,
season.
man.
I mean,
That's
like
true.
even me had the Commanders going 7-10 last year and missing the playoffs, and they went 12-5 and made the NFC Championship. Like legitimately, anything can happen in the NFL. Like Tyler Shough could win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Who knows?
Might.
Or Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson, probably not.
Probably
You
not
don't know.
Gray Zabel, but
Probably not Gray Zabel, but you can
He's gonna be
hope
solid.
as much as you want.
Yeah. But
Uh,
that is
That'll
it.
do it for us. Thank you, Jacob, for popping in for an episode.
thank you guys for letting me.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you guys for letting me hop
Sure.
in, man. This is really
Anytime.
fun.
And we will see how this NFL season, goes. We'll be
Yep.
back hopefully next week before our school starts. Maybe
Mhm.
with
Oh, yeah.
some more NFL stuff, maybe more fantasy related. But
Yep.
see.
And
we'll
maybe
go from
maybe
there.
we'll see Jacob again. I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Who
You
knows?
never know.
Who knows? But thank you for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram in the description below. But thank you for me, Donnie, and Jacob. Thank you for watching.
Thank you
all the way
so
through.
much for letting me on.
Yep,
Mhm.
anytime. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.